Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast. Happy New Year, the first wrestling podcast of 2025. So we are on the road to WrestleMania. It is Royal Rumble season, so we just don't have the wrestling expert with us. We have the 2024 Spotify Rap Superstar of the Year, Jacob Mason. How are you doing today, sir? And Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, and with a fucking introduction like that, hell yeah.
Hey, just
Solid.
giving credit where credit's due, man. You were the Spotify Wrapped Star of the Year with everyone tuning into one of your classics, the Bray Wyatt one being the most listened one of 2024. We'll see what happens in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I was like a little nod from like Bray Wyatt in a messed up way because that's why everyone listens because after he passed. But
Mhm.
hey, man, I'll take a win where I can get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely freaking absolutely. So, Jacob, it's only been 8 days time of recording into 2025, and wrestling's already in a hot start. Let's just start off with the past couple days. We had the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And I know you were taking some notes throughout the whole thing. Where do you want to hit first on that?
Dude, let's start from the beginning because so while Netflix went to Raw,
Mhm.
this is why we're here today. I was at work,
Mhm.
so I caught everything I could, you know, within within reason. I didn't like I know like I didn't catch the Drew McIntyre Jey Uso match. I did not catch that one at all. Then driving home, I missed a little bit here or there, but I caught the parts I needed to see. Anything I missed, is all on social media. So uh the beginning, that intro to the show. First off, that painting that I don't know who was drawing that, but kudos to that. That was cool. It was cool how they hid the ring the whole time.
Yeah.
And then in my notes here, I have the beginning made me want to follow Triple H into war. Jesus Christ, what a fucking intro! Like, dude, Triple H, like, I had goosebumps watching that, and like him speaking, dude, that was some next level stuff right there. It was good.
You're right. Like, I was wondering who was going to start the show, like, who was going to be the first voice. Like, obviously, we'll talk about who came out next because I thought that person was probably going to start the show once they announced it, that he was going to be there. But I was happy for Triple H to be that person. That beginning one and throughout the whole thing, Jacob, which is kind of crazy that he's been, I don't want to say this, Chris Benoit, zero mention of Vince McMahon.
None. And honestly, there doesn't need to be. There really doesn't need to be a mention of Vince McMahon at this point. We all know Vince McMahon, just like we
Hmm.
all knew Chris Benoit.
Hmm.
Yes, he's in the history books for better and for worse. It is
Yep.
what it is. We are on to the Netflix era. Also, I have in my notes here, holy shit, that's a lot of pyro. My God, they were not skimping around on the pyro. My goodness.
Yeah. The budget was crazy. I just felt like it was. I did feel like they were gonna mention him once, just because, like, I know we'll get to stuff later, but like when Michael Cole said the name Brock Lesnar out loud, and I was just like, "Oh, we're getting a Brock Lesnar reference." So we not gonna say Vince because it's like you said, for better or for worse, some of the stuff is impossible without him. So I was just shocked, but we did get to see a McMahon. A McMahon was mentioned. She was there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Stephanie.
Yeah. So that was just really it at the beginning. But like you said, Triple H, I mean, he's been the leader of this ship. I mean, we all saw when he was doing in NXT, when he first with the black and gold, and then obviously the stuff when he was up here. Then he had the heart scare. Then he lost the power, then got the power back, and he's been the leader ever since, man.
Dude, you beat me to it because this whole show just had an NXT Black and Gold vibe to it.
Hmm.
Like just everything. It was just the that entrance or the intro, super sick. Triple H, I'm ready to go to war for you, man. Like whatever, you got me. I'm in. You don't have to draft me. I'm volunteering. Let's go to war.
Yeah,
I don't know who with, and I don't care, but I'm here for it.
yeah. So that was really cool on his part. But then, I mean, you have the final boss, Dwayne, the Rock Johnson. He comes out and he does his thing before the tribal combat match. What are your thoughts on Dwayne coming out?
Okay, it felt awkward. This kind of felt like it was good, but it felt
Hmm.
awkward to me. Like all of Dwayne's interaction just felt fucking awkward. I was just like, huh. Like we shouted out Cody Rhodes. He shouted out his, Netflix investor head people, whatever. I mean, he just bought another $8 trillion or whatever, how much in stock at TKO. Like, I, it was good. Like, crowd was behind it. Crowd was popping because at first I was like, man, why? Like, I get it. The Rock comes back. People are going to cheer. I
Yep.
understand. But then a part of me is like, no, don't cheer this man. Boo this man. He deserves to be booed after everything he's done. Boo this man. And I'm like, damn, he's really cutting a really good face promo. I'm like, this is too good. I don't like it. I like it, but I don't like it. I'm conflicted. I felt very conflicted on this whole thing. That's a perfect way to put it. I wasn't sure how to feel, but I was like, man, I felt good about it. I was like, okay, we're in it. He's shouting out Cody Rhodes, not talking shit, hugging him. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, all right.
Yeah, very. You're you're 100% right on how to feel like that conflictedness because let's not forget the last time we saw him, he was literally a heel. Like he was a full-blown heel. I'm like the shouting out of Cody Rhodes was weird because I was like, dude, you just spilled his blood in front of his own van and you were stopping him from like winning the title. You came out at bad blood when he teamed up with Roman and put your fingers up, and that means nothing at this point in time. But apparently, Rock said on NXT, slow your roll and shut your mouth. I'm going to take you on this ride. But I think the biggest thing, Jacob, is that with it being on Netflix and its first one, they weren't going to present The Rock as a heel on the very first like Netflix for like the people who haven't been watching the story because people watch it's like,
Oh,
oh shit, it's The Rock. Like, and he's
yeah,
also still in. I mean, he's still promoting Moana 2 and all that shit. So that's probably the reason why he came out as a face. And then once we've get away from the premiere, he'll go back to being that heel asshole he was.
yeah, and I get it because you have God. I mean, I don't know the official quote unquote ratings
Mhm.
for this Raw, but I have to imagine it's probably through the roof. So for all the casual fans turning on because Netflix was promoting the shit out of it, you couldn't log on to Netflix without Monday Night Raw, 8 o'clock, set an alert, and it blowing up your phone and everything else. So it's kind of like, all right, well, I mean, I get it. The casual fans are like, hey, that's The Rock. I remember him from the 90s.
Yep. Yep.
That's it. I get it. Fair play, but just weird for the hardcore wrestling fans. But the hardcore wrestling fans are also going to be like, hey, I get it. It's weird, but I get it.
100% agree on that. And then we finally get to a match. There's only four matches on this entire card, and we get to the first one, and it's Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman going against Solo Sikoa, Tribal Combat. With this going first, Jacob, this confirmed that CM Punk and Seth Rollins were going to be the main event, and I was pumped. Like I was like, holy shit, they are really giving Punk and Rollins the main event slot on the first Raw on Netflix, which was huge.
Very huge. Because I was shocked. I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, tribal combat will be last. But let's see. We had 4 matches. We had
Mhm.
the tribal
Yep.
roles match. We had the women's match.
Yep.
We had the Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins CM
Yep.
Punk match. 3 out of the 4 could headline anything.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying Drew and Jay can certainly headline, but just there's no storyline there. There's nothing behind it. It's just yeah. I mean, I guess there is stuff behind it, but like not as critical as the other stuff. The Ula Fala, like I'm like, okay, they're going to treat this like a championship. Which, hey man, it coming out first, I was like, fuck it, I'm here for it.
And like we said too, with the Netflix era, like I think this was like Roman Reigns' first time doing a one-on-one match on live, um, a Raw or SmackDown, probably since before that 4-year reign started, because he did not do these during the 4-year reign.
Yeah, it's true, man. I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah, it's because remember that's where we had coined the full-time part-time champ. He was
Sure.
full-time, but still not wrestling on the shows. But they have a lot of theoretical stuff happening in this match with all the people coming out and different portions of the Usos. I mean, and Sammy and Kevin Owens and Solo's group, and Roman Reigns comes out on top. Were you okay with Roman winning this one?
I mean, I wasn't shocked it happened.
Mhm.
I don't. Did Roman have to win?
See, I don't think so. This is where I thought it was gonna go when Roman won, and then Rock comes back out, takes the thing for Paul Heyman, puts it on Roman. I thought Paul Heyman was going to put the Ulafala on Dwayne and say this has been part of the entire plan the whole time. And Dwayne finally rock bottoms Roman. We get that shit going. I thought a betrayal was about to happen. And
Uh,
it
See,
was just
that's your
chalk.
problem. You trusted The Rock to do something that would be cool. I learned this problem years ago, my friend. You can't trust The Rock. You can't do that.
Oh shit, it's fair.
Absolutely not.
Dude, I was waiting when he was about to put that on Roman. I thought he was gonna hook him, rock bottom him. It did not happen. I was like, shoot, that's it. Now what does Solo do? Solo's done some great work because everyone's hated him. And what do you do now with him? But you're right. You're right. I had too much faith in that.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, man. I learned from my mistakes.
Yeah, it was tough. But we'll see what they both do now. I mean, Royal Rumble's in 3 weeks. So you would assume, and we still have the promise. What was the promise that
Uh
Paul promised Punk?
oh yeah. Yeah, we still have that, but that I don't know. That doesn't have to be a this year thing. That could always be
No?
a next year thing.
Yep.
It could be if we forget all about it. And then it comes back, you're like, oh shit, forgot about that.
You're right. You're right. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
You're right. You're true. You're absolutely right. It's not like a Money in the Bank. There's a year thing. Like we don't know when it can happen. We don't know what the hell's going on. We know in a couple weeks it's going to be real clear when the Rumble winners are decided. But right now, we're just the Bloodline. I'm pretty sure Solo will have some things to say on Friday. Anything else on this match, Jacob?
No. Because unfortunately I caught like half this match
Hmm.
because I had to work during the middle of that match. I had to work during work. It's a pain in the ass.
No, no, I hear you. I hear you. Then after this match, well, then was about 9 o'clock. So the 9 o'clock hour was the Cena promo. Cena coming out, the retirement tour is officially begun. He lures you in, talking a lot of talk about real stuff. Like everyone's asking who's going to be his final opponent. The names that were thrown out are names that everyone on the internet has said, like a Logan, a Punk, or Cody, or things like that. Is he going to win his 17th title? Which was all factual stuff. Everyone on the internet was asking that. Then you weave in the storyline of I don't know, man. I haven't won a one-on-one match in like 4 years, which is true. So then you get the self-doubt. You get people like, oh no, you could do it. You could do it. And then he's just like, man, the only way I could really like get that titles if I like, win Money in the Bank, win the Chamber, or win the Rumble, and then, he gets to get that official, in the Rumble thing. I mean, he did it to perfection, got the crowd going. I mean, I know it was a retirement tour, the first Raw on Netflix, so I know personally I was in my Cena shit. I was ready to go. So, but he did what he needed to do. He'll be in the Rumble. Crowds. I don't think he'll win just because of who the champions are, but he did what he needed to do to get the crowd for it.
I look at John Cena getting the 17th to beat Ric Flair's thing like a Charlotte Flair thing where Charlotte can just win it one night and lose it the next.
That is
And you
true.
know what? It doesn't matter. It's in the record books. But
That is
dude,
true.
John Cena, man, holy shit. I mean, I don't want to say you forget how good he is on the mic, but my God,
Hmm.
he's so good. I mean, just taking you on an emotional roller coaster.
Hmm.
That whole speech ended up like giving me straight up goosebumps watching all that stuff.
No.
You know, from the entrance, even it's just like shit. This is the start of the ending here. It's like,
Hmm.
damn, all right. Like, and it's so funny because like I got out of wrestling, when I was younger, and then I got back into it like when 2012 ish. So when I've gotten back into it, I just remember how much I absolutely hated the idea of John Cena and Randy Orton having yet another fucking match. I just were like, oh my God, I can't do another Super Cena Blandy Orton match. I can't do it. I can't. That's all we were just getting it force fed to us. And now it's like Cena's talking about all his opponents. It's like, God damn it, I'll take it one more time. I'll take that Randy Orton John Cena match. Shit, I'll take that.
It's so funny you brought up the Super Cena thing because like a lot of like you're that's a very like popular opinion. Like, the Super Cena we all got even me as a fan, I was like, all right, we gotta lose eventually. But now people are like because these past couple of years they're like, yes, fuck that selflessness stuff. We need to start burying people. We need to start winning on here. Like I'm just sitting here looking like this is crazy. Like how the shit's changed. Like people want that's he's like, nah, we need wins again. I'm like,
It's like Goku. We're all giving him our energy for the spirit
mhm.
fucking Bob. We're just like, yeah, you got this shit. Super Cena this 5 moves of doom. We don't need anything else. Let's go.
Like it's wild too. And then of course like that Monday when they had like the tributes and all that, and then like they had the uncut thing of him walking again, man. I'll always bring up ECW One Night Stand. Like when they were throwing that and he did not know what dude, I'll never forget the guy in the front was just flipping. He's like, fuck you. Like the crowd going like and then they're like those same people are the same people who want him to win the 17th title at WrestleMania now.
Dude, it's real, man. It's real. It's so funny. It's just, hey, man, like, I'll be the first to admit, I'm just like, man, I fucking hate Cena. Like, I remember seeing, like, I remember going to one, I think it was like my first or second Raw going to. And I remember like me and my two buddies and my buddy's mom were all like, oh, I'm going to boo the shit out of Cena. I can't wait. And like Cena came out and he goes, I have like 6 Make-A-Wish kids with me. And we're like, God damn it. Can't boo you. What the fuck? You ruin everything. And now I'm just like, just stay. Just a little longer. Just win this one more title. Come
It's
on, baby.
I know it's hilarious. It's so funny. So I mean, he'll be there at the Rumble. I mean, he's working a pretty full. Like from what I've seen, he's not doing any of his other like movies, anything this year. It's all dedicated to which that is just like, all right, this is really it. If he's not doing any other projects during this shit, so you go to the next match. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. This rivalry's been going on forever. This was one that we talked about at the beginning, near the end of the year. Like, if you look at it logically, Liv Morgan is, I mean, well within her rights of wanting revenge on Rhea, but somehow Rhea has become the face and Liv is the heel. Even though Rhea hurt Liv first, we talked about this. Like, logically it makes more sense that Liv is right. Like, but
I, they
I
fucking
don't.
it's dumb.
Rhea Ripley's being pushed up. I mean, pushed up, and then obviously Dirty Dom and Raquel came with her, and Rhea won this match for the Women's World Championship. I, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, how are you feeling? Like, maybe if I like, how are you feeling about this one?
Okay, so I'm so happy you brought up the whole we should be cheering for Liv and Rhea's the dick here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Cole
Mm-hmm.
because they are trying to fix this timeline.
Yes.
Because obviously, I'm not the only one bitching about this because Michael Cole's like, oh, Edge took advantage of her when she was down. And
Which I was like, oh shit. Okay, talking about Edge. I mean, previous
yeah,
sometimes we can't mention AEW stars now, aka Cope, which I don't know why he. Let me stop.
yeah, I know. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I was like, okay, well, at least they're trying to fix this. Like, we know the real reason. Rhea wasn't, contorted into this. She willingly came into this, her and Damien. Fuck y'all
Yep.
both. But
Yep.
you know what? You're trying, and I'll give you kudos for that. You're at least doing something. You're not ignoring it like Vince McMahon would. So I'm here for that part. Um, I didn't like Rhea going over. Yeah, that was my thoughts on that. I'm like, well, I don't think Rhea needed it. I think Liv's been a great champion. Chicken shit heel. I love it. Got two heaters. She's even making Blandy McBlanderson, aka Raquel Rodriguez. Like, I don't mind her. I don't hate her as much as I normally do.
Every time I see her on, I'm like, I wonder if Jacob still thinks she's bland. Every time.
She's bland, but like they hit her with like a little bit of taco seasoning with all this stuff. So like whatever, she's something, I guess. I don't know. Like you get a little salt and
Oh,
pepper on there. Like they're not much. It's not much, but it's something. I'll take it. I'll give her Raquel a compliment. I like her chicken
that's a
shit eater
that's a
deal.
good one. That's a good one. The taco seasoning. That was really good. That was really, really good.
Not
But
much. It's just a pinch, but I'll take it.
you're
Um,
you're right though, with like the Rhea thing. Like, unfortunately, we've been here before. With like Liv, because she was so entangled in this Rhea Ripley stuff, we really didn't get to explore like the other number one contenders, like EO and all of them. Rhea, we've done this before, so it's like we're going to WrestleMania. So I'm assuming she's gonna go in as the champ. Who is she gonna wrestle? Like Becky Lynch apparently was reported today as recording that she signed a new contract. Are we really about to run that back? Like, is Liv Morgan gonna get the chance again? Probably not. And they're gonna get the new Intercontinental champ on Raw. So, like, we're gonna get back to that thing. Like, what lady's gonna be out here? Apparently, we saw Bailey was there talking to Adam. Is Bailey gonna get traded to Raw? But it's like we've seen that too. So, with Rhea being I just felt like with Liv, there's a lot more fresh matches that we could have done for people for her to go over. With Rhea, it's just like with the people currently on the roster. We did this shit all last. We did it when she was champ with the Judgment Day.
great. I don't know where we go from here. I was kind of shocked. I was expecting Alexa to maybe show
Hmm.
at Netflix. I was expecting that, but
No returns.
no returns.
No
I mean,
returns.
The
Yeah,
Rock.
but
But by the way, I forgot to say this. Shout out to the subtitles on Netflix because I had the subtitles on, and it right before the Rock even came out, it said the electric one or electrifying one, whatever his song's called, by Jim Johnston plays, and I'm just like, oh, the Rock's here, cool.
that's
like, and then like 3 seconds later, it's like, if you smell, and I'm like, huh. Didn't see that one coming. Oh shit, I did. It's still up on the subtitles. Cool.
no. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, that's what I noticed too. Like no full-time like talent returns, like not an Alexa, not a Char. I thought Charlotte. I thought she was gonna come out maybe, not a Charlotte, not Becky, not a like Carmel, like any of those people. No, like AJ Styles, people like just Probably saving them for maybe Rumble because it is the Rumble is where we're like, oh, people are coming back, but
Oh
there's
my
no.
God. I have to say this. Let's talk about the Rumble really quickly.
Mhm.
Not this year's Rumble. Let's talk about next year's Rumble. Did you hear the frickin' boos when Michael Cole said like, "Oh yeah, next year it's going to be in Saudi Arabia"? Did you hear the boos in that place?
Yes. And then I don't know if you've seen I don't know if you've seen the dislike ratio. It's one of the most disliked videos on WWE socials.
Good. It should be.
Dude, I don't know
It
what
sh-
the hell they're doing. Like,
I know what they're doing. They're getting paid.
I know, so, but on a serious note, like, and I'm being really serious about this. Are they gonna have the women's Royal Rumble over there?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Like,
Dude, they probably will, but just like all the other matches, it's going to be them like wearing long sleeve plain black t-shirts or plain blue or plain red t-shirts.
I know, and Royal Rumble is like where it's one of those big
You
matches
show
where
out.
you show out. So like that's why
It's
I'm just looking like and I don't even because I don't think there's ever been a women's match that's been relatively like a 20-minute match in Saudi. So they're gonna be able to sit through an hour plus women's match.
I mean, that I guess that's going to be their piss break for the show. Like honestly, I know it's fucked up to say, but let's be honest, that's exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if that match I'm really I don't
And
understand why out of all the big four I don't understand why a big four I know why you've already said it the money is green even if there's some stains of blood on it but really we picked that place not the UK like what
not Canada, not France, not
not
Puerto
Mexico
Rico.
yeah like what
Literally, you have so many options. I mean, like, but hey, Riyadh Season is one of the sponsors on the mat.
you're right you're right
I mean, and Riyadh Season, let's be honest, is a massive sponsor of TKO and UFC and all that stuff. I mean, when the UFC had their show at the Sphere, Riyadh Season was plastered all over it because they funded a ton of it.
you're right
And TKO Group's like, well, hey, like you said, that money's green. It's going to spend the same.
just crazy to
So
think about a big four pay-per-view is really going to be overseas.
So the only positive I could think about that, I was like, all right, well, this sucks. And I was thinking to myself, like, you know what? For us as the American audience, yes, it sucks. I fucking hate the fact we're putting a big four outside of fucking America. I don't like it. I know how awesome the foreign crowds are, minus Saudi Arabia, because everyone who's there is just rich and they have like
Oh,
8,000
there's
square.
no juice. There's no juice when they're over
No,
there.
no, there's nothing. So, the only positive I can think about it or that can come out of this is that the the show is probably going to be at like 11 in the morning our time, which means it'll be over by like early afternoon. Which for me, and we've said this before. I'm like, man, I love these earlier. I like the earlier like pay per views because like I'm old now, but like I still fucking hate it just because it's a Royal Rumble. Like, no, you don't get the Royal Rumble. That's like getting a Mania. You do not get that.
Which now
No,
we have the fears that eventually they're gonna get a WrestleMania because now it's like if you're getting a Rumble, I mean that's just the next evolution up a SummerSlam or a Mania.
and they have the money for it. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's so messed up because the business side of me, it's like I get it. I'm
hmm
making that deal all day, and I'm not saying I'm very ethical. Lord knows I'm not, but I mean, ethics wise, the reason we call it blood money,
Even just American wise, the NFL would not have the Super Bowl any other place outside of America.
right?
I mean, that's one of those things. It's like, hey, man, hardworking America. You could come here to America and watch the shit. We don't like that. It's just one of those type of things. I know.
I know. I'm with you, dude. It's fucked up. The only positive I'm getting out of it is that hopefully, I imagine it's going to be an early pay per view.
Yeah, which is true. That is the one thing. Be over by 2 o'clock. You still got your whole Saturday, but we kind of talked about it a little bit though that these international crowds, if we don't step up over here in the States, we could lose some of these, and here we are.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like honestly, like I said earlier, I can see. Yeah, I don't like it, but I would understand more a Royal Rumble being in the UK.
Yeah.
I would understand a Royal Rumble being in France. I could understand a Royal Rumble being in Canada. That's happened.
Yep.
That's no big deal.
Yep.
Um, I can understand. I mean, we've had a Mania in Canada.
Hmm.
Not a fan of it, but at least those crowds are hype.
Yeah.
And my God, if you're going to do it, you better do it in a freaking dome too. Not in. I don't want an outside arena or a stadium. I want an indoor because I want that sound to bounce off the ceiling and come back. I want it to sound nuts. It is what it is. I don't know. I'm just telling
Speaking,
myself for the next year. It's early. It's going to be okay. I'm old.
yeah, that's in
That's,
2020,
that's all I
20
can say.
in 26 that will happen. But speaking of sound, bouncing off the arenas, bouncing off of places, Jacob, this was actually probably for anyone who watched the Raw on Netflix or read articles, this was the thing that came up the most viral part of it. Mr. Hulk Hogan. By the time you're listening to this, the NFL podcast will already be out. Our NFL expert EVP Justin Ackendale, he made a decree that we shouldn't even call him Hulk Hogan anymore. We should call him Terry because of how bad he was getting booed out of the building. Like he has lost the right to be called his alter ego and show name. But Jacob, this was the most talked about thing about Raw on Netflix.
Yeah, yep. And I'm glad you beat me to it on that one. This is love it, hate him, love him, whatever you feel. Nothing, nothing is out talked or been out talked about than Hulk Hogan. Which I love all the parodies of because I've seen so much stuff so many memes and people talking to me he doesn't deserve this. He did this, we wouldn't be here without him. And then there's Hulk Hogan. Because everyone's talking about it being Jimmy Hart. Dude.
Dude, Jimmy Hart told him to cut that shit early. We gotta go. Like he did not want to be out there.
Dude, it was this happened right before we left for
Mhm.
the night. And I just remember all of us, I got my phone up and everyone's like, oh, Hulk Hogan. Like, oh, that's a lot of booze. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a lot of fucking booze. Shit. And
Did you,
then huh?
did you have the subtitles on where it kept saying booze?
Mhm. Yeah, this when the subtitles say crowd booing, it's like shit. All right. That was a lot of booze, brother. That was a lot of booze. And then I seen so many people being like, oh, it's because of his political views and this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, but Taker was out there and Taker was very vocal about everything. I don't think it had anything to do with political. I just think it's because, I don't know, the things he said 10 years ago that's still pretty fresh.
Oh, he's a piece of shit, dude. Yeah, that's why when people said that, you're right, Jacob, because it's it's not the political view, because like you said, Taker was literally out right before him, which respectfully, that was such a useless spot. I know you just want to have Taker involved because it was the
Right.
first thing, but I was like, this makes no sense with Rhea, but whatever. I mean, Taker had I mean, if you don't like Trump, that's fine. He had Trump on his damn podcast with Kane. Like he had him on he was on the couch. Like it's not that it wasn't it's just Hulk Hogan's just a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah. That's
like
it.
that's all it comes
I've
down
seen,
to.
yeah, that's it right there. I've seen so many people it's political. It's really not. The guy's just a fucking piece of shit.
I mean, what are we talking about political? I mean, Triple H was getting super cheered there. His mother-in-law's on the goddamn cabinet again. Like it's not like it's but Triple H isn't a piece of shit. Hogan is.
I know. I know.
You're a piece of shit and you're doing it in California? Like, come on now. And now
You're
there's
like, come on. Do we not know our yeah, come on. And I get it. Like the target audience of WWE is vast and
yeah,
different.
yep,
It's it's not just one thing. Like
yep.
it's really it's not like a completely left thing. It's not a right thing. Not to get political, but we're talking about it. It is what it
Hmm.
is. This is a conglomerate, and I keep telling people all the time: go to a wrestling show and you'll see it. You're going to see the 500-pound dude
Yep.
taking up two spots that smells like ass, sitting next to like a fucking supermodel.
Hell, if you saw it at Raw Thing, because she's a super fan, Vanessa Hudgens. I mean, she had the Hot Girls Love Pro Wrestling shirt on. Perfect example.
Dude, Topanga. Shout out to
The-
all my 90s babies.
yeah, I mean, and dude, it's crazy when fucking Home Alone man he got a louder pop than Hulk Hogan. And he did
But
it perfectly. He had the hat down, did the face reveal. I was like, oh, man loves pro wrestling.
oh yeah, him and Topanga. I mean,
Yep.
I remember seeing them both before the AEW thing. Like, dude, they were at the pro wrestling gorilla shows all the time out in LA and shit. All the time. Like they're actual fans. I love that shit.
I love how they, just side note, like how they like were showing all the stars there, like who were there and all of that stuff. And it was just like, damn, I know because it's in LA. Hopefully they do that for the other cities too. But that was really cool. Again, they made a super special. But yeah, Hogan's just a POS, man. It's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and now he's like, oh, maybe I'm gonna come out. And no one gave a shit about your real American beer. Like, no one cares.
Dude,
Like,
so, something else. Holy fuck. The dude went around America to promote his beer. And he was in Ohio at like four different stops. I was at the fucking broke down bar he's been to. I've watched concerts there. It's a honky tonk.
mhm.
Dude, know your target audience. California is not your target audience for real American beer, brother. Like, who thought this was a good idea?
And both can, and like when you were talking about people are like, oh, we wouldn't be here without. Both can be true. Yes, Hulk Hogan, insurmountable in WWE's rise, like in
Yeah,
the 80s and all. That is 100% true. Can't take that away. When it's also 100% true, he's a POS. It's the fact, we're going back to Iron Sheik's Twitter, who the people who are running, it's like, then, now, and forever, fuck Hulk Hogan. Like,
right.
it just is what it is. So if he comes back
Yeah.
as a heel, whatever. I mean, there's nothing. Nobody wants to see him wrestle anymore. Like it's just like whatever.
Listen,
About
Hulk Hogan is the guy you don't want on TV. You don't want him on TV. You want Hulk Hogan to be at like your little press and promo things, like when you're meeting people in person,
yeah,
because more people are going to be excited for that than
yeah,
seeing him on TV.
yeah. And I mean too, like his entrance. I mean, still, I am a real American. That entrance music is still golden. It's just when he
Oh,
comes out, you're
wow.
just like, uh. But
Right? You're
but
like,
real real quick too, just on the people who were there and all that. This one caught me by surprise. Nikki Bella, first time in a WWE thing in ages. Her first public appearance since her marriage went to shit. So I was shocked. She was right next to Bill Simmons, and I was just like, and she talked about it today. She's like, oh, I mean, we said some things on the WWE stuff, blah, blah, but now, bygones are bygones. So I saw something funny saying, when after people spread their wings and shit hits the fan, they always come back.
always. Dude,
Always.
always. And fucking shout out to what the fuck Bill
Simmons.
Simmons.
Mhm.
Oh my god. The
Fighting for
video
his life.
dude fighting for his life. That I don't know who Bill Simmons' wife is, but you need to take care of that man because that man went to war for you
Yeah.
and didn't look right at all. Eyes straight forward.
Yeah.
My God, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube or Google. Nikki Bella, Bill Simmons. It's fucking
It's
hilarious.
hilarious. It's hilarious. Then just real quick, man, Jay Uso defeating Drew by pinfall. The only reason people complained about like this being on here and not like the crowning of the Intercontinental Women's Champ and all that. I'm just gonna be honest. The only reason this is on here is because Raw and Netflix. You had to try and fit in the Jey Uso crowd interaction,
Absolutely. And speaking of crowd interaction, Travis Scott coming out there with a fat joint.
dude.
Dude,
We were not on USA anymore. I was like, is that what I was like, oh. And then Michael Cole tried to say, what did the hell did he say? Oh, I'm blanking on what he
back of
said.
saying, oh, you got some sage there, buddy.
Yes, yes.
Oh, got some sage there.
Just standing up there, his music's playing. He's just looking around with a blunt in his hand. I'm like, oh my God, this is really, huh.
This is the most non PG thing I've seen in years on WWE. Like, I'm
Shit,
here
just
for
going
it.
back to the beginning when Rock said bullshit, it wasn't blocked out. Or the
I
fuck
know.
you chants. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
But nah, Jay, he rolled him up and beat Drew. I don't think anything of it. Drew McIntyre's on a warpath. He's going to kill everyone in the bloodline, so
As he should.
he shouldn't. But
As he should.
as he
Like,
should, as he should. And I'm cheering for
a
him.
throwaway match, but fine, whatever. It is what it is. Travis Scott smoking a blunt, highlight of the match, I
It
guess.
really was. And then trying to pass it to Jay. The Jay's like, oh, dude, I'm going to work. I'm going to get probably drug tested after this.
No, there's enough DUIs in my family. No.
And then the main event of Monday Night Raw, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. I was very happy they had the main event. They deserved the main event. I was I was actually shocked that Punk won, man. I thought Seth was gonna win.
Same, same. Thought the same thing. I what did you think of it? Were you happy Punk went over? Were you okay with it? What's your thoughts on it?
Me personally, I think when it all finished, this was the hey, sorry we couldn't give you the main event spot during the 434-day reign. Hopefully, this makes bygones officially be bygones. That's how I felt.
Yeah, but did Punk need to go over?
Nah, I don't even think this, especially if this is a one-off. Hell no. Like if this is a trilogy and Seth gets them the next two times, okay. But if this is just a one-off, I think Seth need to get the win here.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Yeah,
Seth, some of those GTSs Seth was in, they look kind of personal. Like there's some real knee two faces. Like
yeah, yeah. I didn't like the spot, like the ending spot
mhm,
where Punk hit the GTS and then Seth rolled off the ropes and then landed perfectly back
yeah,
on him. I didn't like that. I was like, that's fucking corny.
yeah.
I was like, that's fucking dumb. Like, I don't know whose idea that was. Like, I'm looking at you, Michael Hayes, in the background. Like, I don't know. I'm guessing you're the producer for this match, but that was stupid.
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
like
I
it.
agree. I agree. And
I
then I think
still
the
think,
best part about it was the walking promo he had at the end. He was
yeah.
just he was talking shit, saying he's coming after Thunder, he's coming after Cody, he's gonna win the Rumble. So here we go.
And I mean, I will say this much. I did see this today. I didn't really notice this, I guess,
Mhm.
when I was watching it. At the end of the match, Punk rolled over to check on Seth and then rolled over to the ref and said, "Hey, you need to check on Seth, make sure he's okay," because he was busted open.
Mm,
Which I will say that I was like, "Hey, we're getting someone who got busted open on the first." I was good
hmm.
with that.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. It was just enough, just a tad. I liked it. I did like Punk being professional. Not used to seeing it. Uh,
Wearing the same jacket that he's scared of.
Yeah.
Tony Khan with his life, which I was like, come on, dude. The pettiness level is
It's a bad breakup, and I'm here for it, man. Like I was
it's
like, dude, I seen that, and I'm like, no way. Oh, I see what you're doing here, Punk. And like everyone on the internet wrestling community is like, he's wearing the fucking jacket. Fucking jacket. We've seen this jacket before. It's like, yeah, we have.
no, it's crazy, man, because with and then that ends the show a little over 3 hours, and with it being on Netflix, I think they're mostly going to be 2 hours. But Triple H said Raw could be 40 minutes or it could be 4 hours. We really don't have a time limit anymore because we're on
Right.
Netflix, which I was like, holy shit, okay. But I
I
enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one. Like it felt really special. Like I mean, all everyone watching it or keeping up with it if you were at work or waking up in the morning reading the recaps if you went to sleep early. Like everyone was locked in one way or another on it.
right. And I was also thinking about the whole Triple H thing. I was like, shit, like, how are we going to be watching Raws? Like, do we have to commit? Should I commit 4 hours of this? Should I commit 3 hours of this?
Mhm.
You know, which I do. And I'm like, yeah, Netflix ain't gonna give a shit, but the arena will. That's
Yeah,
what made me.
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
I'm like, yeah, the arena's gonna be like, hey, you're going past this time, like you're getting charged out the ass, and you know that's just how it is.
That's a real good point because that's a side we don't really talk about like the arena because when the people leave, like the arena workers having to come in and like I know a lot, I know some people who do that for a living who like after big events they got to go in the arena, clean the whole thing up, get it ready for the next day. And
Yeah,
Raws,
yeah,
if they're going 11, you're probably not getting out of there if you're cleaning till maybe 1, 2 o'clock maybe, and then to come back and do it all over again. So
yeah. So I imagine we're gonna be 2 3 hour Raws. You know, but yeah, that's what I thought. Cause I'm like, I think that's kind of shitty because I want to know like, hey, I need to invest X amount of time into this,
yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
or whatever else. Uh, unless it's, like a mania or something, you're like, yeah, this is an event, this is an all day thing, you know.
I do like already like they automatically have like a whole bunch of like all the Raws on there, and like once Raw's over, it's like you could automatically rewatch it. They're getting a wrestling segment on there. I hope it's easy to navigate while it's on Netflix.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's got to be better than Peacock.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll
I'm not.
see.
We'll see. I mean, I'm. It sucks because it's like it's not going to be the WWE network, but we'll see.
Well,
you know,
nothing will ever beat it. The
if
network.
they can beat the time of me searching for 20 minutes to find ECW One Night Stand pay per view,
Mhm.
it's automatically better in my book. That's the bar that Netflix needs to beat because they're putting all the pay per views and stuff on there, correct? Right?
Yeah, I believe
So
so. Yeah.
as long as I can find that under 20 minutes, that's how long it took me to find the whole pay per view on Peacock. Just absurd. Uh, yeah, it'll be better, but man, that bar is set so low. It's not going to be hard.
No. And then on the
Uh,
other side too, like AEW for people who don't know, I mean they have a deal with Max, like that they're going to be doing simulcasts on both TBS where you watch AEW, all that, and Max. Max is going to have a lot of their old content, their library there. I mean that's a big deal for people who like. If you want to show someone like, hey, what's a great AEW pay per view when they first started, you could show them those first all ins or like the double or nothings or anything like that from like 2019. Like that's a big deal, dude, that they were able to strike that deal with Max.
so yeah, it's a big deal, but I had to ask, I'm like, how many people have Max? I don't. I don't know anyone that has Max streaming service.
Well, it used to be just it wasn't originally HBO Max
Yeah,
and then just became Max. Like
yeah,
they dropped the HBO.
yeah. I don't know anyone who has it. That's the thing. And at this point, fucking streaming services are getting so expensive that
You got to pick and choose which ones you got.
you got to pick and choose. And like Raw going to Netflix was like one of the best things for me because I don't have to pirate. I don't have
Hmm.
to look for everything. This just makes my life way simpler
Hmm.
because I don't have cable. We stream it,
Hmm.
uh, which I feel like the majority of America does that now. Uh, but yeah, it's cool. I'm happy for AEW. Any good news from AEW is just good news. At the same time, like who the fuck has Max? Who the fuck's buying Max just for AEW? Like
Yeah,
I don't know what Max.
I don't think anyone's buying Max just for AEW. I think Max, I mean, Max comes with like the internet that I have. Like Max came for like free with it.
Oh, okay.
So just because of the internet provider I have, but you're right that no one's buying Max just to get AEW. I just still think it's a step in the right direction
It
because
is.
it's like, hey, you could watch this stuff here and do that. But with like AEW, I mean, Moxley's there running stuff. Adam Copeland just came back. Mercedes has four belts, man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. So New Japan just had Wrestle Kingdom,
Yep.
which is their WrestleMania. Highlights of that: Mercedes won. You poor guys. I'm so sorry. I hope I wasn't keeping you up last week.
No. Dude, I was just like, oh shit, bro. And I was like, bro, what? And then I saw that picture of her with the four. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oat collector over here. Yeah. So for those, yeah, because no one else gonna know besides me, Martin, and Byron, because that's the group chat. Uh, I was working midnight, and I'm like, oh hey, all the Wrestle Kingdom stuff's happening right now. So these poor bastards are sleeping snug in their bed at 4 in the morning. I'm over here like, oh, fucking Zack Sabre Jr., fucking Kenny Omega. I'm just blowing up the group chat, and I'm like, fuck, I hope I didn't wake you guys up, but one of the perks of being on midnights, I guess.
It is. It is. You're when things are going deep in the night, you're the first to get us hip.
I'm just like, I'm seeing it as it's happening. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
what? I'm all right.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Wrestle Kingdom highlight. Mercedes won her fourth title. She's belt collecting. Kenny Omega came back, had a fucking killer match
He
with Gabe.
came back to AEW today, day of recording. Had a
Yeah,
face to face with Osprey.
yep, that's what I was just going to say because I was looking it up.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's finally good to have him back.
Oh God, they needed it. They needed it. Like he's the backbone
Yes.
of the company. At the end of the day, he is. Oh yeah, the Young Bucks won. They won the New Japan heavyweight tag titles. That's fucking weird. I mean, some of these matches, I was just like, oh, okay, like, oh, they actually won. Oh, okay, well, like, cool. I don't know. It kind of, I thought it was fucking weird, but whatever. So, hey, fucking New Japan's giving out half their titles to AEW so they can be shown on America. Must be having an American show coming up here pretty soon, I guess. Um, yeah, Kenny's back. Something else. Not a ton of people talked about it, but fucking Omos is a fucking tag champion for Pro Wrestling Noah, the
Yeah.
other Japanese company. What?
Hmm.
That's fucking weird, but all right, I'm here for it. I guess like good on Omos.
Hmm.
I have no idea like who the person he was that he tagged with. I have no idea. Actually, no, I do know who he faced. He faced one of the guys was fucking Fujiwara or something like that. I seen him face Eddie Kingston in New York a couple years ago, and he's fucking awesome. But dude, Omos looked fucking good over there. Like, I get it. Like that dude. I mean, of course he looks big because the dude's massive, but like that dude looked fucking Godzilla over there in fucking Japan. That dude is holy fuck. He looked big. And then Shinsuke, we now know why he won the US title from LA Knight. So he can go over to Pro Wrestling Noah and have a match holding the title.
Still great.
And
He's allowed to do that.
Yeah, I love it, and I was shocked they didn't say that on the Netflix show. I was like, oh, like when they showed Shinsuke, they're like, oh, just came back from Japan, retaining the United States Championship.
Missed opportunity there.
Yeah, because honestly, like the last time he was there, his entrance was just incredible. Just built like a fucking John Cena. Massive
Hmm.
entrance, massive pop. And it was the same this time around. Massive entrance, massive pop. Fucking Shinsuke is here. And I'm happy for Shinsuke on that part. I'm a massive fan of his, so it's good seeing that. But yeah, it's and I don't know what else. I
Just like, I mean, just some of the excluding like Mercedes, like looking at the champs, like women wise, WWE just did a whole overhaul on their women's champions. Tiffany cashed in, Rhea
that was
won, Galia, she just beat Roxanne
yeah,
Perez. So I'm assuming Roxanne's probably going to get called up. The time has come. I mean, she's phenomenal. And then you got Mariah May, and AEW being the like they. I don't want. Well, Rhea's almost getting that kind of almost that classification that she's not even new school anymore. She's like current school. But like a Tiffany and Mariah and like it's new blood as champs right now. Like ladies wise,
I like it.
I do
I'm
too.
here for it.
I don't know how long these are gonna. The fact that WWE changed all three of their main women's champions in a 3 day span. Wonder how that's going to go WrestleMania, and they're obviously going to have an Intercontinental champ. But like, you have those three. Chelsea Green, which was very well deserved. We talked about her when we previewed that stuff with Byron for the GalaxyCon stuff, and like we preview like for the Intercontinental one, like Dakota Kai. If Dakota Kai doesn't win, I'm actually kind of going to be pissed because that like she deserves it. But I like what they're doing. The men on AEW. It's so weird because it's like Adam's back, and like I love Edge. Me and Edge share the same damn birthday, but the fact that it's Moxley and now Edge for the title is like, what happened to the homegrown folk? Like, is this what we sacrifice? Swerve
Well,
Strickland and
I'm glad you said that because earlier today I just seen on the internet Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be facing Moxley for the title too.
is it triple threat? What Matt? I swore I thought it was just a one-on-one with him and
Him and Ed, it's hold on,
or it's one of those Casino Royale matches.
wait, hold on, did I read this wrong? I might have read this wrong.
No, I mean probably not. It's just Powerhouse Hobbs. He is a homegrowner.
Yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs wins a Casino Gauntlet match and will face John Moxley for the AEW World Title at Maximum Carnage.
Okay. Okay.
And then, like a little bit later, he came out and made the save for Edge. So there you go.
Hmm. So is Edge
It's
gonna
just
go
fine. Like it's
first?
just Powerhouse Hobbs. Like okay, cool.
So is Edge gonna go? Because Edge talked about he wants some of Moxley. That's because AEW All In Texas, Saturday, July. Damn, why are we promoting this already? July 12th. Jeez. And then Collision. Okay. Wait, Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
Oh, Moxley ain't gonna lose that. I'm on eight. That's in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, he ain't losing in his home.
Ah, absolutely
Sweet.
not. January
Yeah,
15th, not a
that's just
shot.
next week. Yeah, he ain't fucking losing in Cincinnati. Fuck no.
And I'm right here looking at the match. So Hobbs is probably gonna get him first, then Copeland, because it's Moxley versus Hobbs, then Kenny Omega versus Brian Cage, Christian Cage versus Hook, and women's Casino Gauntlet match. Winner gets women's world title match at Grand Slam in Australia. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
fucking, I'm bet the house on fucking John Moxley.
Oh yeah. Not a chance in hell, man. But it's kind of crazy how it feels like it was forever ago where we were talking like the end of year wrestling stuff, talking about AEW with GalaxyCon, and now it's we're about to be done with the first week of January, and Jacob, it's that time for you because no
Fuck
rest
yeah.
for the weary. In a couple of weeks, we have to plan out the Royal Rumble preview episode. We're gonna have to give our thoughts on who we think is gonna win
Oh,
the Rumble.
dude, I know. Like it's kind of it's funny because it's normally the Road to Mania doesn't start till officially the Royal Rumble.
Hmm.
But like firing off with this massive shot with Netflix, like I was like, dude, this whole card had a WrestleMania feel to it. The whole show felt
Yeah,
like a mini mania, which was
with only
awesome.
4 matches.
With only 4 matches. But damn that it just felt so big. Like it
Hmm.
just felt like a mania, and I loved it. But yeah, I mean, this just felt. I'm like, okay, this is the start of the Royal Rumble. I
Yep,
think as soon as John Cena said, "I'm entering the Royal Rumble and I'm going to fucking win,"
yep,
uh, I was like, "Here we go, we're on it. This right here, this is the official start to Mania, right,
yep,
y'all? All about it, love it."
yep. You're right, man. You're 100% right. We're here. I mean, time you guys listen to this podcast, we're gonna be behind the scenes already talking to each other like, hey, when do you want to record the Rumble preview? That's how we're gonna be moving. And then by the time this is over, you'll be like, oh shoot, they got the Rumble. Here comes the Rumble preview. I need to know who I'm picking. Like, and then we'll be doing the Rumble reviews. Like, it's gonna be going, man. We're gonna, oof. It's a great time. Wrestling is up right now, as the kids would say.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, I guess it's up. I don't know.
It's doing good things, but
I don't know.
oh,
That sounds hip and cool. My fellow kids, that sounds awesome. Sure.
with that
Hey.
being with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the first wrestling podcast of 2025. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna be back in a couple weeks previewing the Royal Rumble that's gonna be taking place in Indianapolis. Again, the wrestling expert Jacob Mason, the 2024 Spotify Rap Star of the Year, Jacob Mason. Here, we'll see if he can get it back to back. We'll see what the wrestling rolls, but from now until April, you're going to be having two to three wrestling pods almost every other month. So with that being said, L7C podcast on the road to Mania, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.